Welcome. Welcome to Thursday Night Live at the Lovecraft Using Podcast. Or alternatively, The Price of Fear, brought to you by Vincent Price. Were any of you that are here now, were you here on Tuesday? I know some at least were. I read a story from this book, The Price of Fear, which is stories that they adapted in the Price of Fear series. This was published in 1976. And I told Marianne that I think I'm going to read another story next Tuesday, another story from this book. So, hey, who says Vincent Price's birthday only comes once a year, right? We're going to read another one. Now, my real question is, did any of you have time or inclination yet to listen to any of the Price of Fear episodes? They're on YouTube, probably archive.org, like that. So, yes, he is eternal. Anyone buffering? Everyone seeing and hearing me okay? Brian, Darren, Kim, good evening. And Frank, see, I remembered this time, Frank, and Jakester. Damn, I think just about all, if not all of you are Patreons. Thank you. Hey, Suzanne. How's summer vacation, Suzanne? Um, all right, it's good. All right. All right. So yes, I will read a story from The Price of Fear this coming Tuesday. As I read, as I think just about everyone here knows, I read the Waxwork, and that story really did surprise me the first time I read it. And I won't give it away for those who weren't here, but that ending, I thought it was obvious from the beginning what was going to happen. I was still enjoying it, but I thought it um, was going to go a certain way, and it didn't. It's an amazing story, written in 1931, and the dare I say the adaptation by Vincent Price and Company is even better. Uh, First of all, Vincent Price plays a fictional version of himself. So, the oh, Kim says the Alfred Hitchcock version of that follows it pretty well. Wow, I didn't even know there was an Alfred Hitchcock version of that. I've seen a few of those, but after I turned 18 and had access to TV and everything, there's a lot to catch up on, you know. So I'm still catching up. I do vaguely remember the Twilight Zone episode, The New Exhibit. Is that the one with the woman? Um, that's all I remember. Who was, I think she was shopping or something. Darren, what'd you do with my pen? All right, here it is. Never mind, Darren. I accused you, falsely accused you. Twilight Zone, The New Exhibit. I need to rewatch that because it's been decades. Um, New. Pardon me while I write something down. Yeah, so thank you for joining me for a little while on your Thursday evening. And let's see here. I have some potentially good news that I just found out. Um, trying to remember. Oh, right, not the news. I was trying to remember a movie title. So, so yeah, if you're new here, on Thursdays, it's just me pretending I'm a late night talk show host. Uh, Tuesday nights, I read horror, and if you're watching this later, you can watch it live if you want. Thursday nights and Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And, you know, your quote just reminded me of Catch 22, Jakester. I didn't know this. Speaking of decades, it's been decades since I read Catch 22. But the quote, you know, it doesn't matter to the people who are dead who won the war, which I would maybe disagree with, but it's Catch 22, one of the most important books of the 20th century. And anyway, I saw today that there is a Catch 22 limited series on Hulu, and yeah, you should read it, Jakester, and I should reread it. Um, I wrote down because I want to watch that because I haven't seen it yet. I wrote down Jakester instead of Catch 22. That's how old I am. Anyway, I watched the trailer today and a couple of the extras where they talk about the show, and George Clooney directs, and he does good work. He does great work, and all indications are that he's a nice guy, very talented actor, director, and so he's in it. Uh, and everyone knows what Catch 22 is, the what it means, but this is where it comes from, and I'm going by memory now, but of the book, which is dangerous. But the Catch 22 is it's set during World War II, and these guys are flying planes in World War II, American kids, and if you're crazy, they don't make you fly. But if you request to not fly, then you can't be crazy. So that's a catch 22. And the trailer is just hilarious, man. I might watch the first episode tonight. So anyway, be aware of that. I guess it came out in 2019 and I did not know about it at all. So, however, I have things competing for my time. I have been doing a lot of work helping Danielle with the fight she's in, and um, I got behind on easing work and other work, and I've got like 3/4 of the books to my 25 and up Patreons, and tomorrow I got to get the rest done. And if you're one of those people, I am so sorry, but it's coming. You should get it. See, Thursday, probably first part of next week. Yeah. Anyway, so I checked the mail right before the show, and Brian Hodge had emailed me and said he was going to send me his latest book. Did I want it? I was like, do I want it? Seriously? But I didn't know it was this nice. I mean, Cemetery Dance, I guess, published it. Who they're in a spot of trouble. that I won't get into, but you guys probably know about that. Anyway, Brian Hodge, if you've not read any Brian Hodge books, I'm telling you, tonight get one on Kindle. If you're a Kindle person, start reading. Brian Hodge is amazing. He's an amazing cosmic horror writer and weird fiction writer, but he really nails um, cosmic horror. I mean, he's just a jewel of a writer and a really nice guy. So he emailed me and said he had this book coming out. It's called Black Hole Sundown. Isn't that a nice cover? I need to look and see who created that cover. And you know, so he emailed me. I said, no, I didn't know it was coming out. Thanks for letting me know. And yeah, of course I want a copy. Um, this special signed edition of Black Hole Sundown is limited to 750 copies. So I feel really fortunate to have it. Cover artwork by Vincent Chong, Chong. Well, Vincent, if you ever watch this episode, this is one hell of a cover, man. And there's the back. Now, show of hands, guys, tell me if you've read, and no shame because our TBRs are huge, right? But tell me if you've read Brian Hodge yet. Um, I've had him on the show a couple of times over the past few years, but it's been a while. And I'm going to have him on sometime in the next month or so. I don't remember Brian, but he probably did. But yeah, Suzanne, uh, yeah. All right, so let me read you some of the back here. This is a quote from the British Fantasy Society that really uh, not only does Brian Hodge get the cosmic awe AWE concept nailed down, but his characters and the way he describes the relationships between them are expertly drawn to a degree that Lovecraft himself could never have achieved. True, very true. Um, a fine display. This is a collection, not a novel. A fine display of Hodges' skills as a writer. This is from Locus magazine. Particularly his ability to combine the cosmic and the personal, the sublime and the intimate, suggests one reason for Hodges' success, namely, that the mirror in which the galaxy swirls is a human eye. Each book, this is from Horror After Dark, each book of his stands out as so original that I'd have a difficult time in saying which was my personal favorite. It's his writing style combined with his incredible imagination which makes his books so consistently good. Now, these two guys, they don't write like each other, but the their originality, especially with cosmic horror, make me think of each other. When I think of friendship aside, when I think of Brian Hodge as a writer, I think of Laird Barron. And many times when I'm reading a Laird Barron story, I think of Brian Hodge. They're both just very original, skilled cosmic horror writers. And um, so, as I was saying, I want to watch Catch 22, but um, I went to the mailbox and now I have this book, and I'm like, man, I think I need to read this tonight. Here's how it. Here's what the inside cover jacket says. And I got to ask him about this because he's certainly not old. Um, First of all, there's a quote by Werner Herzog, which is apropos, and it is, "I believe the common denominator of the universe is not harmony, but chaos, hostility, and murder." Werner Herzog. In his sixth and likely final full-length story collection, Brian Hodge serves up his most mature and expansive view of a universe that is by turns actively hostile and coldly indifferent, yet at the same time is the ultimate battleground for carving meaning out of chaos. Come for the horrors of the cosmos writ large in the gulfs of space and time. Stay for the horrors writ small between the beats of a human heart. Among the casualties, there are apparently, well, I'll just read this. I don't think I'm going to read these in order. Among the casualties, story titled West of Matamoros, North of Hell. Taken by members of a cartel, 3 electro musicians from Mexico City struggle to keep their lives and souls intact when they're plunged into the ancient Mesoamerican heritage of human sacrifice. See, right there, makes me think of Laird again. Insanity Among Penguins. There's a title for you. 2 film nerds clinging to the long-gone glory days of indie video stores. I miss them too. Pursue their ultimate prize, a nightmarish lost documentary by the legendary Werner Herzog. I don't know. I may have to read that one first. Weird Shadows over Innsmouth, which was the title of an anthology too. Not a Hodge. What are you doing, Monty? The downfall of H.P. Lovecraft's notorious seaport town as seen by the hulking, career-doomed bureau agent who broke the case wide open. The Atrocity Exhibitionists. When the monstrous god of social media demands its due, nothing has less value than your dignity, your conscience, and your soul. The weight of the dead after her father is exiled from their post-apocalyptic community. An adolescent girl deals with her sudden vulnerability to the resident predators, while a dark magic begins to reemerge from the forests. And this one I was thinking I would read first as well, so I've got 2 that I want to read first. Okay. On these blackened shores of time, a family suffering an unimaginable tragedy is engulfed by the discovery that their loss was hundreds of millions of years in the making. Make your peace, a black sun is coming down, and it's about to swallow everything. He's a musician as well, Brian is. So, anyway, I knew Brian was sending me a book. I hadn't looked it up. I didn't know how damn beautiful it is. And I get one of these limited editions. And I also get if I can get to the page, I'm trying to be careful. Here we go. I also get this. So it says, to Mike, one who also chose the Eldritch path. Enjoy. Brian Hodge, 5/24/25. Well, there's my retirement right there. So there you go. Um, there's a lot of stories in here. No, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, 14 stories. So, so yeah, I'm excited. I truly am excited about this. I get sent a lot of books, um, just because of, what I do, promoting writers and artists, and some books I'm like, okay, this might be good, might not be good, and some books I get excited about as soon as I unwrap it, and this is one of those. Um, Thanks, Darren. I do feel lucky. I was in real estate for a long time. Got sick about 17, 18 years ago, and I I tried to. When I say I was in real estate, I mean worked I was self-employed, and I tried to keep it up, but I just couldn't. And this was around 2008, which, you know, everything crashed at the same time. So I was told, Danielle, if one or the other had happened, like I got sick, but the economy stayed fine, I could have struggled through. Or if the economy tanked and I wasn't sick, then I think I would have made it through as well, because I don't give up easily. But both at roughly the same time was just, and so we moved down to Texas. We moved in for a few months with Danielle's sister while we got back on our feet. And Danielle was like, just stay home and take it easy. And, you know, she got a job down here. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. And then immediately didn't. Started doing this, um, published in the magazine, and the podcast came a year or two after that. We just started talking late at night on on Google Hangouts, and then we started doing it every Sunday at 6, and then I realized, wait a second, I'm doing a podcast. So yeah, um, and at the same time, though, Darren, I think so. Someone once said that luck is when preparation and opportunity meet, and I don't make a lot of money with the Lovecraft zine. I started it not ever thinking I was going to make any money. I just thought it would be really a cool thing to do, and that there was a need for it. And I don't know how I got on all this, but if I'm not boring you, I'll continue. I Yeah, I'm grateful for every dollar I do make, because most of that is coming from my patrons who believe in me enough to be doing that and want to help me continue. Um, that said, yeah, Danielle is the real breadwinner in the family because of my illness, and um, yeah, so I'm never going to get rich doing this, but I just truly love it and love you guys, and um, yeah, I don't make a lot of money. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's not the money, it's being able to do it, being, um, talking to you guys and hanging out with you guys like this, um, all the friends I've made, my panelists on Sundays, and then, perks like this. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Um, I'm in pain a lot, but it's just life is about how you look at it, and the life becomes about what you focus on, and you can choose to be grateful, or you can choose to. I could choose to be pissed off that I got sick and be bitter about it. But anyway, didn't mean to turn into Tony Robbins there for a second. Anyway, this looks wonderful. Didn't know I was going to spend this much time on it, but man, I'm going to be reading at least one story out of there tonight, probably more. What else do I have to talk about? Let's see. Yeah, Delta Green. Delta Green's they're pretty famous. Some cool games, cool books. All right. So the good news that I have is that it's it's been um, oh gosh, 2 months or so since we found out that they didn't want to renew Danielle's contract. Um, Believe me when I tell you, she's a fantastic teacher. Everyone the students, her fellow teachers, other school superintendents that know her, and so forth. None of them think that this is right. They know she's a fantastic teacher. She's very popular. Um, but, um, bureaucracy being what it is, and that's really all I can really say about it until it's over. But so all this time, we're like, are we going to have health insurance in a couple of months? Are we? And Logan and I need health insurance, man. Believe me. Are we going to have any money? Are my paychecks going to be the only paychecks? And believe me, we couldn't pay the bills without the extra that I bring, thanks to you guys. But like I said, Danielle's the real breadwinner, and so it's been really stressful. And I've tried not to dwell on it in my head and keep saying to myself, "Que sera, sera." But if something funny happened today, there's a school that's interested in hiring Danielle, and I can't say much about all this till it's over. Okay, so I will just say this: Logan goes to me today. Has Mom heard back from this school? And I'm like, that's a good question. I'll text her. So I texted Danielle right then, and she texted me back, and she goes, uh, "No, I sent him another text, and I haven't heard anything." And I texted back, "That's strange." And I had this sinking feeling because they had shown a lot of interest in her, and I know she did too. And so then she went over. She was in the car with her sister, and she went and checked her email on her phone while she was texting me, and they had emailed her and said that. Well, I'll just say it's good news. That's all I can say for now. The So it was within the space of 90 seconds. Both of us went from, oh crap, we thought this was probably going to work out and it's not, or we at least had high hopes, to 90 seconds later going 180 degrees in the opposite direction. So it was a good day. Definitely a good day. So nothing is a done deal, nothing at all. but it looks like it soon will be. So, so Danielle does not deserve what happened to her. She's literally the best person I know. She really is, and she doesn't deserve this. And what happened. I mean, and so it's time to turn the page and go on to the next chapter. So anyway, I know all of you have been concerned, and I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate the emails and messages that you guys have sent me. Um, thank you. So um, I will I will tell you more when I am able to tell you more. So, but but for some legal and ethical reasons, that's all I can say for now. Um, and thanks everybody. It's I I was Laird said to me recently in an email. He's like, we were talking about a friend who's going through a hard time. He's like, man, everyone is. It seems like everyone's going through a hard time right now, or so many people are. It seems. With that in mind, and the Davis family, we're one of them, but hopefully that is changing. But yeah, it's been rough. Um, Two people, if you have an extra dollar, you help them out. It would be great if you did. If you don't, maybe maybe share, and someone who sees your post can help out. The first person is you guys all remember Joe Pulver, right? Um, was like a brother to me and was so supportive of the weird fiction community. A talented writer, that's an understatement, talented editor, and a regular on the Sunday podcast for years. And we lost him 4 or 5 years ago. Yep, the mayor of Carcosa, the King in Yellow. There's nobody that in deserve that title except for Joe Pulver. Um, he truly was larger than life. Anyway, as you can imagine, it's been hard on his wife since she lost him, and she's uh, going through health issues herself, and she's in a position where she really needs some help. Let's just put it that way. I asked her if I could do this um, because it's an email, and she said yes, please. And I'm going to share in the side chat Kat's email, because that's the email for her PayPal. So if you can give her $1, $5, $50, $1, and if you can share this, she deserves it, and Joe really, she deserves it as Joe's wife too. Um, Kim says she just posted an update on her Facebook page an hour ago. What'd she say, Kim? Um, Joe would want us to help as much as we can, and so please let's do that for Joe and for Kat. So there's her PayPal address, and no guilt. This isn't a commercial, but we just in this community we're supposed to look out for each other, right? Um, and we do. So let's do that. The other is Mike DeBronzo, who's a panelist on the podcast. He's been going through a hard time as well, and I organized a GoFundMe for him, and he's gotten enough prices are really going up in some cases, especially. He was telling me that getting his car fixed is way more expensive than it used to be. He's what he's received so far, he can get some things on his car fixed, and he needs money for clothes so he can go to interviews. All he needs to do is get on his feet. He's trying to get a job. Um, he's an architect, but he needs a car to go to an interview. He needs interview appropriate clothes, that sort of thing. So there's the GoFundMe link. Um, and if you can help Mike DeBronzo out, if you enjoy the podcast, he's couple last few years he's been a big part of that too, and he adds a lot to it. And I think you would all agree that the most important thing that DeBronzo adds to the Lovecraft easing community is his research into horrible, horrible movies that he then makes Pete Rollick watch and comment on. So, I mean, it that's award worthy to me, and um, some people do a lot, but that's really a very selfless thing. I think Pete would not agree one bit. Yes. So I was concerned that I would lose the book house, but the way things are looking for this foreseeable future, I will not. So keep your fingers crossed. It's not a done deal yet, but it looks good. Kim says there's confusion about her employers. Yeah, there's confusion about her unemployment benefits too. She's really got some health problems. Um, yeah, her landlord has extended the deadline to June 13. That's really good. So you can see the kind of financial trouble she's in, and none of it is her fault. So there we go. Like I said, we all watch out for each other, and if you guys, anyone that's part of this community is ever in that position, all you have to do is tell me, and I'll spread the word. Um, Feels like a full-time job taking care of those 5 kittens out there. They are so cute. When I say it feels like a full-time job, I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean I've really been looking out for them, and their mom brought them right here to the book house. Like 4 days after they were born, and I felt really I felt really good about that. Her name's Socks, and she's been you know coming and going around here for quite a while, and she's nervous cat, but she knows that I've been taking care of her, making sure she gets fed and has water and everything. And so I feel like she thought, that guy will take care of my little ones too, um, which I have been doing. They're so cute. I've got some more videos I'm going to post probably tomorrow, Kim. And so yesterday and today, Kim, they've been camping out right on the steps and playing on the steps. It's so cute. Next thing I'm going to look up and one's going to be trying to run in here and get on my computer or something. Um, but damn, they're cute. So I'll have more photos, more videos for you for the kittens. Um, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, do you guys remember 2 movies? You ever rewatch a movie just because of nostalgia? And dumb question, I'm sure you do. But I was thinking about 2 of those movies lately. Yeah, the book house has become Ulthar. Cats of Ulthar. Um, you guys ever see these movies? Blue Thunder came out in 1983, and a movie called Dead Again, which came out in 1990, I believe. 19, either 90 or 91. And Blue Thunder is free to watch on Tubi. So I remember watching it when I was younger, and it was just it's state of the art, the state of the art helicopter for 1983. And it's kind of funny to watch at the beginning where they say, "Oh, everything in this movie is in something like is in use in the military today," which watching that in 1983 would have been like, "Oh shit, that's scary." Yeah, with the chopper, and damn good movie. I don't know how many times I've seen it over the years. And then Dead Again. Dead Again. Blue Thunder's not a horror film. Dead Again is kind of a horror film, I guess you could say, or at least supernatural in a way. Um, Reincarnation's involved. It's I can't remember that actor's name, and Emma Thompson, and he was in Harry Potter. He was in hell, I can't remember. Anyway, it's every time ever since I've seen it in 1990, literally every time I use a pair of scissors, I think of that movie. And I use scissors to open the packaging on this book earlier and thought of the movie again. I was like, you know what? It's been like 5 years since I've seen it. I got to rewatch it. But it's a really good movie. And Robin Williams has a bit part in it too, that I really like the character. So I am curious, what are you guys reading and watching? If you're watching this later and you're not watching it live, comment below. Um, my TBR pile never seems to shrink, but that's what they call a good problem to have. Here's another book you should check out. It's been out a little while, a year or two, a couple years. Isolation. You know, it's a anthology. Paul Tremblay, Laird Barron, Joe Lansdale, M.R. Carey, Ramsey Campbell, uh, Angela Slatter, Brian Evanson, just a lot of talented. Gwendolyn Keist, speaking of talent. And on the back it says this: Lost in the wilderness or alone in the dark, isolation remains one of our deepest held fears. This horror anthology from Shirley Jackson and British Fantasy Award finalist Dan Coxon calls on leading horror writers to confront the dark moments, the challenges that we must face alone, survivors in a world gone silent, the outcast shunned by society, the quiet voice trapped in the crowd, the lonely and forgotten screaming into the abyss. Experience the chilling terrors of isolation. Um, so, oh yeah, speaking of talented, Jeffrey Ford. Um, Jeffrey Ford is a hell of a talented writer. So yeah, check out Isolation. It's it's a damn good book, and I was just thumbing through it and rereading a couple of the stories the last week or two. So I thought I don't think I've recommended that to you guys, so I thought I would do that, and let me know what you think about it when you get to it. Hey, it's jazz. I was just recommending books, Chaz. Here you go. If you missed it, Isolation, the horror anthology. Oh, this horror anthology from Shirley Jackson, finalist Dan Coxon, calls on leading horror writers to confront the dark moments. When I read that, I just sort of had this surreal feeling. Um, I'm a Shirley Jackson Award finalist, so wow. Sometimes I forget about it. I was emailing email exchange with Gwendolyn Kais today, and promised her that there will be an Autumn Cthulhu too, and she's gonna write a story for it. Um, yeah, here's my rock, Shirley Jackson. You get a rock even when you're a finalist. Uh, I would say the Shirley Jackson Award is the most prestigious horror award. There are other awards I won't mention that seem uh, there's nepotism. There's a lot of please read my book so that I can be so I can win this award stuff. Um, Shirley Jackson Awards are not like that. You know the old cliche. It's just an honor just to be nominated. It and it really is to be one of the four. I can't remember 4 or 5 people who are nominated in your category. Funny thing is, for those of you who knew Joe, we were both up for the Shirley Jackson Award in the same category, as editors that same year. And he was like, I hope you win. I was like, well, I hope you win. And neither one of us won. So, but we both got a rock. We're both finalists. So, yeah, something like that, Kim. Um, yeah, got a question for you guys. Speaking of late night talk show questions, because I asked this question a lot on the podcast of the guests, writers, and other creative people that I interview. And one of the question is, um, what does success mean to you? Because everyone answers it somewhat differently. And, so I'm curious, what does success mean to you guys? And if I'm putting you on the spot with that question, yeah, I kind of am. You can think about it and comment below later instead of commenting on the side chat if you would rather do that. But I was thinking about that question today because, yeah, actually, that's one of my things, Darren. Um, I that quote from The Lord of the Rings. Um, but where our hearts truly lie is in peace. That that I feel exactly the same way. But what made me think of it was I was thinking about Danielle because she's out of town visiting her brother is, well, let's just say it's not good. The and I'm missing her, and I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about that success question and how I would answer it, and I think my answer would be something like I feel like I won the lottery 30 years ago, and then I won the lottery again uh, 22 years ago. And so everything else on top of that is just icing on the cake. I feel like I won at life when I found Danielle when we found each other, and then we got married, and then 8 years or so later, we have this beautiful little boy, and he's such a great kid. And I have goals and dreams, and I'm uh, this is easing's part of that, but that's my answer to that question, and I'm just curious what you guys' answer um, would be. So yeah, think about that, and I'm curious as to your responses. You can comment below later if you don't want to comment in the side chat. Let's see. I talked about Catch 22. Have you guys picked up Stephen King's newest book? Let's see, what's the name of it? It is Never Flinch is the name of it. It's another Holly Gibney story, I guess. I haven't read it yet. Never Flinch. But I was on Audible because I've got a credit, and the Audible reviews are not good. Um, and I was wondering if any of you are in the middle of reading it or have read it yet. Yeah, Never Flinch has received mixed reviews, with some praising Stephen King's slow burn storytelling, while others feel it may not fully deliver on its potential. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Holly Gibney series, I guess you'd call it, and started with her boss who died. Um, Started with Mr. Mercedes, I think. I just couldn't get into that book. So, that's a good answer, Chaz. I like that. I like that a lot. And let's see here. Talked about Chaz. Talked about this a while. I just got this in the mail from Brian Hodge, limited edition. But Brian Hodge, if you have not read Brian Hodge yet, he is fantastic. And what else do I have? That might be it. Shoot. Yeah. Oh, Chaz, here you go. I just happen to have this right here. Boop. About Time. 12 short stories by Jack Finney. Time travel stories. So, yep, there you go. And here's another Jack Finney that is not time travel or sci-fi or horror at all. I've talked about this recently. The Night People, which is a little cheesy sometimes, but there's something about that book I just really, really, really like. So, good night, Chaz. Oh, you found your three by Finney. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You said that the Night People is one of the three, right? Yeah. Okay. And I think that's all I got. I think that's all well, I guess I took up an hour of your time. So I was going to talk about some astronomy stuff, Darren, but I think I'll save that for next Thursday, dude. So, and I was going to bore you with some superhero stuff, but I'll do that next Thursday too. So, all right. So guess what? Sunday we have uh, this is what Fibro Fog is like. Um, Sam Ham. Sorry, Sam. Hamm. Sam Ham is the guy who wrote the script for the Batman '89 film, and recently, as in the last year or three, there's been a continuation in comic book form with at DC Comics of the Michael Keaton version of the character, and um, it's just about done. I think they're all out except for the last one. So we're gonna be talking with Sam Ham, who is a really nice guy, and his he's very well respected in that industry, and I've really enjoyed the Batman '89 comic series. So I think it'll be a really fun discussion, and hopefully DeBronzo will be there, and hopefully Ben Handelman will be there because they're even bigger nerds than well Ben is. I don't know if Mike's a bigger nerd than me. We might be equal in the comic nerd department. So anyway, guys, thank you for spending part of your Thursday night with me. Thanks for all the support with what's going on with our family. And I will, if you're a patron and you're at the $10 and up level and you're around tomorrow night, remember we do a hangout every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Not broadcast, not recorded. If you've never been on them, you should give it a try because it is a hell of a lot of fun. So I will see all of you there who are going to be there. Thanks for watching and listening, guys, and I love you guys. Thanks for being part of the community, and have a great night.